Other interesting political news, you have Saudi Arabia Petrodollar agreement. Well, it expires, so get ready for hyperinflation thanks to our government ineptitudes. Now, a lot of people don't realize the vast importance of the petrodollar. It's pretty much the only reason these days a US dollar is worth anything. That being said, it's being worth less and less every day. Now, rudimentary speaking, if your country wants to buy oil from one of the largest oil producers on the planet, Saudi Arabia, well, they have to take their local currency, which they actually make they actually make products for and services, and have to take that currency, they do an exchange to the US dollar. So let's say you're in, well, I was going to say Germany and France used to be, independent, unique countries. Now they all just use the euro. But let's do something else. What's a country we could talk about? Canada, perhaps? I don't know how to. I don't know how I don't know what the correlation is, or I don't know what the currency exchange rate is from mooses to U.S. dollars. Might be a little awkward. We'll do Mexico. So Mexico, if they want to buy oil, traditionally they'd take the peso, which Mexico makes a lot of products, makes a lot of services. They would have an exchange. They'd take their real money, they would change it for the U.S. dollar. Then they take that U.S. dollar and they buy money from Saudi Arabia, rudimentary speaking. And that's why the U.S. dollar has held its value for decades upon decades. Despite now one of the biggest issues to the U.S. is we barely make anything. And again, I work with manufacturers. I have great respect for them. But the manufacturing rates have been decreasing for so long. The U.S. makes very little. The U.S. prints a lot of money, basically just creating fake money. And now that if we don't get this renewed, we're going to be in a tough spot. Now, this was brought to us thanks to BRICS News, which, again, another concern. Americans should be freaking the heck out. More and more countries are moving away from the U.S. dollar. Now, this was brought to us thanks to BRICS News, appropriately named. They say Saudi Arabia's 50-year petrodollar agreement with the United States has expired. No new agreement is in place. You don't realize this might be one of the biggest detriments to the Biden administration. Of all the things to focus on, the stabilization of the U.S. dollar, that's got to be in the top 10. Because again, this is going to hurt everyone. Now, they say, quote, Saudi Arabia will now sell oil in multiple currencies, including Chinese RMB, euros, yen, yuan, the currency not my friend, instead of exclusively US dollars. So all these countries, instead of exchanging their real money for our fiat crap currency, well, now they're just going to cut the US out, further decreasing the value of the US dollar. Again, how the US government allowed this to expire without a new agreement in place. And again, Saudi Arabia, we've had allied relationships with that country in the past. Like most countries, we had times where we were more peaceful with them, more allied with them, more contentious against. This better be one of the top notes in the debates. Granted, the debates are going to be probably fixed because, again, they're going to have a mute button, no audience, and I don't know how much real substance will come from it. And if you're just tuning in, you have a picture, and you have the Saudi Arabian leader on the left, and then you have juxtaposed the picture of Joe Biden, who, at least he did suit up for this picture. And interestingly enough, he does have the American flag on his lapel pin, which is a rare thing in DC these days. So it's just a picture of Biden smiling, and then Saudi Arabia, and the leader of Saudi Arabia. And it's got 8 million views. I hope more and more people are starting to wake up to this very important fact. And again, I don't know what Biden's doing today. Sleeping probably, but I don't know who's in the White House or who's really doing stuff, but they should be calling Saudi Arabia now. Excuse me. And saying, hey, we need to meet face to face and hammer this shit out. Pardon the French. I don't know where that expression comes from. Another topic for another time, perhaps. But yeah, this is going to destroy. Again, it's also rough for people who are trying to save pinch their pennies to save for a house. Any savings you have in the bank is going to be, and again, it's not financial advice. With all the evidence we see here, there's going to be high propensity it's going to be worth even, you already have record high inflation, it's going to be getting even worse. Again, it's got 8 million views and 54,000 likes. Now, scrolling down, one of the first comments comes from 0F saying they're screwing the U.S. citizens so hard and none of this had happened. This is our government disaster. Got 1.5 thousand likes. Oh, 1.6 thousand likes. I was the one like needed to make that jump. Kudos to me, I suppose. Nevertheless, Jimmy Kersatley says collapse of the US dollar inbound, getting 3.4 thousand likes. Let's see here. Bibby says, and it says from BRICS News saying Russia's Moscow Stock Exchange officially suspends all trading in US dollars and euros. Another interesting news that got 1,000 likes. Let's see here. Scrolling down more and more. Real Dark Judge says something tells us the euro will be excluded as time goes on, getting 724 likes. Fun, interesting name. Some might say it's a fun name. Fun says Russia is and should be the best ally now, getting 343 likes, which, yeah, Russia has vast oil reserves and vast natural resources. That's a big part of the economy, which is why it's always astonishing how the U.S. has been adversarial for them. I mean, as soon as that wall fell, there's a big opportunity. But then, of course, the U.S. allegedly, they basically said, Russia, we don't want you in NATO. And NATO became a big club that everyone had to be a part of, and it became a very adversarial relationship quite quick. Which, again, there's so much opportunity for businesses and people to come together. I really wish it would happen. Journey Across the Internet says, dude, the amount of chaos, this will start very quickly, getting 423 likes. What the heck is this? Hear Me Or says, so maybe Saudi now needs some freedom and democracy, or problem with Iran. It said, there's a picture of a bald eagle in front of the American flag. It says, your country has too much oil, it needs some freedom and democracy. Getting 173 likes. Historian of the Unknown says America's slowing dying, getting 656 likes, which, yes, is any contrarian statements. Peter H. Proctor says, moot, being self-sufficient in oil, the U.S. buys very little from Saudi Arabia anyway. That got 30 likes. We used to be very self-sufficient. I mean, during the Trump administration, was the first time, I believe, 60 years, the U.S. was energy independent. We actually exported more oil than we imported. Again, it was a very rare thing, which is why, I don't know, I'm a big fan of, drill baby drill, get that price of oil. Because again, one of the best parameters to making everyone's lives easier is cheaper energy. Everything around us, quite literally, from the lights on, from the food getting to your table, to you going to your work, cheap fuel fuels the economy in your life. Fun, or I guess double the word usage, partially intended. Varsity Radio says, unfortunately, most Americans have no clue why this impacts the dollar. This agreement was our printing press. Yep, getting 88 likes. Yeah, the debt's going to get worse. Let's see here. Heather says, let me guess, Biden told the Saudis don't. It's getting 63 likes. Which, yeah, I wish there were more businessmen in the government who had, new things like negotiating and getting deals done. See, there's any contrarian statements here. A lot of people saying we're going to go to war with them. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not good. A lot of people have the old animation, That's All, Folks. Is that Warner Brothers or Looney Tunes? Well, same thing. They got 9 likes. Let's see. Imiyaz Ahmed says, it's great. It's a great idea, all currencies to be used to buy petroleum products for KSA. Getting 4 likes. It's advantageous to those other countries. It's terrible for us because, again, it's one of the reasons also the U.S. government gives money to every country, seemingly except us, is so that they use the U.S. dollar. So it's in actual usage, and you trade products and services. Yeah. Things can get pretty bad pretty quick. And I don't know what really, again, not financial advice. I don't know what your average American is going to do once this seemingly inevitable inflation just comes and bites us in the rear. Maybe we'll get lucky and there's some secret politician or some secret person from the U.S. going to Saudi Arabia right now to negotiate a good deal and help the American public out. I mean, probably not, but maybe. The odds are not 0, but probably 0.000000723. So not totally 0, but we shall see. Let me know in the comments. Have you heard about the importance of having the petrodollar in place? Do you think it'll have a detrimental impact going forward? As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.